ang masasabi ko lang, no, if we compare Philippine-Korea relations with the other relations of the Philippines with other countries, I'd say that it will rank as one of the top 5. No? I'm saying this because we have a very long history of bilateral relations. I guess it started on August 8, 1949, when President Quirino proposed the creation of the Asian People's Anti-Communist League. And it was here in Korea, in Jinhae, where we have the current Korean Naval Academy. It was there where this regional military alliance was proposed by President Quirino, was agreed upon by the presidents of the Republic of China, Chiang Kai-shek at the time, and President Syngman Rhee of South Korea. So that's how our collaboration started. But of course, we recognized Korea as a republic the year before that, March 3, 1948. And then during the Korean War in 1950, we sent more than 7,000 troops, over a 5-year period. I believe that one of the reasons there is because the initiative to have this military alliance in Asia was from the Philippines. And secondly, the President of the United Nations at the time, General Carlos Romulo, he was instrumental in rallying the members of the United Nations to send troops here. 16 countries responded, including the Philippines. Now, after the truce was signed in 1953, we still sent 2 battalions until 1955 to undertake relief and rehabilitation, because the Philippines was a member of the 7-man United Nations team created by the United Nations to undertake relief and rehabilitation efforts here in the Korean Peninsula. But our engagement continued even after we have withdrawn all the military troops that we have sent here. And we sent engineers. As a matter of fact, some buildings which are still standing here, including the U.S. Embassy and the Ministry of Culture, Information and Sports, they were built by Filipino engineers. And then, of course, we sent technicians, and including people from Erie, so that we can introduce the appropriate rice variety suitable to the climate here in Korea. So over the years, we have helped Korea in various forms, including providing shelter to North Korean refugees who were bound for South Korea. And because of that, the Koreans have treated us as blood brothers, practically blood brothers. So therefore, immediately after the Korean War, of course, the whole of Korea was ravaged. But now, as you can see, Korea is a very progressive country. It is the 13th largest economy in the world. And in Asia, they are the 3rd after China and Japan. And then Korea is now our major source of investments, trade, and in the area of ODA, in the past, between 2003 and 2007, the grants in aid that Korea is sending to the Philippines average about 6 million a year. And it went up to 10 million in up to 2010, and now annually it's about 15 million US dollars. But in addition, of course, they've been extending to us soft loans. During the visit of President Imi back in 2011, one of the agreements that was signed was a soft loan facility in the amount of 500 million US dollars. And these are mostly being availed of by various Philippine agencies in terms of infrastructure facilities, particularly relating to the agricultural sector. On the area of multiculturalism, this is one policy of the Korean government that is being given sharper focus. The reason is because as of now there are about 1.4 million immigrants living and working here in Korea. As for the Filipinos who are married to Koreans, there are about 9,000 of them raising multicultural children. No? As a matter of fact, one very prominent Korean immigrant, no, Jasmine Lee, was elected last year to the Korean parliament. He's the first Korean of immigrant descent who was elected to the National Assembly. And we are proud of her accomplishment because even before she was elected into office, she was already involved in various NGOs advocating the promotion of multiculturalism. And to stress the importance of multiculturalism here in Korea, in 2006 they even came up with a law on how to treat foreigners. You know, this is unheard of course, in the Philippines because we come from a multicultural society. That is why, you know, the first impression of Koreans whenever they come to the Philippines is that Filipinos are very welcoming. That is because we are used to seeing and living with foreigners. But in the case of Korea, they have been a homogeneous society for a very long time, no? And they have never been used to seeing or having a foreigner living within their community. But now things are changing, especially that many Korean companies, no? The big ones, Samsung, LG, Hyundai, are global companies. So necessarily, they will have to interact with other countries. And in that sense, we are also contributing to the promotion of culturalism because many Koreans come to the Philippines to learn English, you know, to prepare themselves for a globalized Korea. And they do not only come to the Philippines to learn English, but many of them who are here, no, who because of time and their engagement in not only in schools but in their respective businesses, what they do is to engage the call center services of the Philippines, wherein the teachers are in the call centers and the students are here. It is known here as phone English. So they learn English by phone, and the teachers, the Filipinos, are in the call centers in the Philippines. Well, I guess in terms of tourism and their impression on the Philippines, I guess you know, figures speak for themselves. Koreans are now the #1 tourists in the Philippines, and this is no small feat, no? Because if you look at the top 4 sources of tourists, no, who come to the Philippines, no, and I'm referring to the countries of China, Japan, the US, and of course Korea. If you look at the population of those 4 countries, the smallest is Korea. But how come they are the top source of tourists for the Philippines? It is because of this, what we call this phenomenon of repeat tourists. You see, in other countries, they come to see the different sites, different attractions in that country, and then after that, there are no more incentives to go back to that country. But in the case of the Philippines, there is something that they found in the Philippines that makes them, that keeps them coming back. No? And well, I just mentioned one, education. But I know for a fact that many are going to the Philippines over the weekend to play golf, you know, for the ajumas or the women of leisure. They come to us, you know, for shopping, for spa, you know, and other entertainment activities. You know. So there are so many things that they like in the Philippines. That's why they keep on coming back. As a matter of fact, I'd like to think that the Department of Tourism has a big hand in this, because I remember in the mid 2000s, the Department of Tourism hired an agency, Gallup, that conducted a poll here on the preferences of Koreans who have been to the Philippines. And based on the results of that survey, they came up with different tourism promotional activities. And since then, before that, before the survey, Koreans ranked as the third tourists in the Philippines. But after DOT has implemented the various tourism programs, based on the recommendations of that survey, they have retained that position for the last 7 years. So I would say that just by statistics alone, I would say that they have very high regard for Filipinos because they keep on coming back. That's one. But secondly, I believe that it is because of the historical ties that we have, since we have helped them during the Korean War. We helped them during the rehabilitation of their country. And now that they are in a position now to provide aid to other countries, being a member of the OECD countries, we are one of the top destinations of their foreign aid. The other factors that came out in that survey of Gallup on the preferences of the Koreans in coming to the Philippines, you wouldn't believe this, but it came up on as one of the top 5 answers, is the organic food that is prevalent in the Philippines. You know? So apparently, while we take this for granted, because we grow our vegetables organically, even our fish farms and so on. So apparently, these are the things, no, that attracted the Koreans in coming to the Philippines, especially the seafood. The seafood market, where you can find a lot of fresh seafood. Unlike here, wherein the food from the seas that they buy from the market are frozen, you know. So that is one thing that is attracting Koreans in coming to the Philippines. Of course, the highlight of the visit would be a renewal of the ties that have been strengthened over the years. No? As I said, Korea ranks very high in terms of Philippine bilateral relations with the outside world, historically, you know, and in many other areas. But I'd say that one area that we really have to work on would be the area of economic relations. I say this because while our trade volume is quite high, no? It's about $8 billion US, but the balance of trade is in Korea's favor. So we would like to narrow this gap, and I believe that the visit of the president would help a lot in narrowing this gap in trade relations. It's about 3 billion, you know. Of course, we know for a fact that the main factor why we have this gap is that a majority of our exports to Korea are raw materials, while the majority of exports of Korea to the Philippines are finished products. So one of the things that will be taken up in this visit would be the assistance, ODA, transfer of technology, that we can benefit from Korea, because they have been so far advanced in a lot of areas regarding research and development and in science and technology, among others, because one of the things that will be signed will be on military cooperation also. We know for a fact that ever since the President Aquino started his tenure, he has been advocating for the modernization of our military. And Korea is our one of our major sources of military hardware. Not only the ones that, they have been winning several bids already, in terms of military hardware. The latest one was that of Kia, which they are now supplying us with military trucks, even ambulances. And on top of that, Korea has been donating a lot of military hardware to us. I mean, token. We buy them, the range is between $1 to $100. You cannot find a better bargain for one helicopter, for $100. One of them would be the defense cooperation. Of course, we had an MOU before on defense logistics, I mean the procurement of arms and so on. But now we want to upgrade that kind of relations. So in the defense cooperation agreement that will be signed, areas to be covered would be, in exchange of visits, including scholarships for our cadets, training, and then exercises when it comes to humanitarian assistance, those kinds of activities. So we are upgrading our relations with them. Of course, R&D, exchange of in the exchange of visits, that will also involve exchange of information. Not on the president himself, but on the father of the president. The president will visit the War Memorial, where Korea is honoring, where you have this museum in honor of not only Korean veterans of the war, but all of the 16 countries that came here to help Korea restore peace and freedom. And the Philippines is one of the 16 countries that sent troops here. But of course, we did not only send troops here. In the case of the in case of Senator Benigno Aquino Jr., he was here as a journalist when he was only about 17 years old, So the conferment of this distinction of appreciation would be on the father's president for his contribution in promoting peace in the Korean Peninsula through the articles that he wrote for the Manila Times, but which were picked up also by international media. But of course, the father of the president, his involvement with Korea continued long after he was sent here. Because I remember when he was in exile in Boston, he has a very good friend who happened to be also a political exile from South Korea, and I'm referring to President Kim Dae-jung. They were the best of friends when they were exiled, when they were both exiled in Boston. As a matter of fact, some Koreans that I've talked to here told me that when Senator Aquino decided to come back to the Philippines, he left a memento. He left as a gift, a token gift to Kim Dae-jung, his manual typewriter, you know. So that is why I remember when a few years back when President Kim Dae-jung died, the official mourner that we sent here was not even a government official, but the brother of Senator Aquino, and I'm referring to Butch Aquino. He was no longer a senator, but he came here, he was sent here by our government as the official mourner because he was not only a previous senator, but the family is a very good friend of the Kims. Yes, that is why I mentioned earlier that this is going to be the highlight of the visit of the president. You know, these presidential visits would always necessarily involve selling the Philippines. So in this case, the president will be selling the Philippines to the big conglomerates here in Korea. Some of them have already decided to expand their operation, and I'm referring to KEPCO, who has been in the Philippines since the early 90s. And I believe that 15% of the energy supply in the Philippines is being supplied by KEPCO. And the president will hear their plans for expansion. Now, there are 4 other big businessmen whom the president will meet. But basically, these other conglomerates have undertaken already their various studies, feasibility studies on possible investments, especially in the real estate, in the leisure tourism industry, and there is also a financing agency that is looking into areas of investment also in the Philippines. So these are the representatives of the various business sectors that the president will meet. If I can mention the last state visit that was done by a previous president in 2002, during that time, President Arroyo talked with the chairman of Hanjin. At that time, Hanjin has no definite plans yet on the Philippines. But 4 years after, they have decided to put up the shipyard. So I hope that the same thing will happen in the talks that the president will conduct with the businessmen who are giving a sharper focus on the investment opportunities in the Philippines, especially considering the fact that we have very good economic indicators as compared with the rest of Asia, and of course with the rest of the world. We have 45,000 Filipinos who are here in Korea. Half of them are employed in factories by virtue of this bilateral labor agreement that we have with Korea, which is under their law on the employment permit system. I'd say that this is a very good template in our labor relations with other countries, because in this case, the rights being extended to to Korean workers are the same rights, if not more, that are extended to Filipino workers. And so practically this means that the basic minimum wage, this is about more or less about $1,000 per month, is also extended to the Filipino worker. Of course, they get more because of the overtime pay and some meal allowances and also free accommodation and so on. So they get a lot of benefits, including health insurance, pension, and so on. But I'd say that the greatest benefit that we obtain there is that there are only two agencies that the worker has to deal with. In the Philippines, they don't have to go with they don't have to pass through private recruiters. There is only one recruiter, which is the POEA. And here there is only one agency that they have to deal with, which is the Ministry of Labor and Employment. It's the ministry that deploys them. It is also the ministry that provides shelters and counseling centers to them. As you see, we have a Philippine law that mandates Philippine embassies with big Filipino population to rent a place that could serve as a halfway home or a shelter for Filipinos. In our case, it is being taken care of by the Korean government. While we do have these shelters, but the ones whom we shelter there are practically not workers, but the other sectors of the Filipinos who come here, like tourists or those married to Koreans, or trafficked victims and so on. But the workers, they avail of the shelters and counseling centers being provided by the Korean government. Now, the second largest group of Filipinos who are here, about 9,000 of them, are the what we call the marriage migrants, Filipinas married to Koreans. Now we have a sprinkling of professionals, mostly engineers. We have 500 Filipino students who are enrolled in various universities here. We also have religious workers, about 300 of them. And then the sector of the entertainers. We have several, I think there's about 2,000 of them who are here. So as you can see, the profile of Filipinos who are here is varied. But we have organized, we have encouraged them to organize themselves into Filipino community groups, no? So that we can communicate with a large number of Filipinos through their associations. No? We have about 87 Filipino associations as of now. Ngayon, well, as to the preparations of the Filipino community here for the visit of the President, of course, many of them are very excited. They came to know about this, of course, in the news, which came out about 2 weeks ago. But most especially during the visit of Press Secretary Lasierda. He came here together with Yusek Valte about 2 weeks ago to conduct this. I understand that this is going to be a regular activity of the Office of the Press Secretary, wherein he will be visiting various Filipino communities abroad. But we were fortunate that he chose Korea as the first country to have this meeting with the leaders of the Filipino community. So during that meeting, of course, it was officially announced to the leaders of the Filipino community that there's going to be this presidential visit. Of course, many of them were excited because it is very seldom that they get to meet the highest official of the land. Now, what we did is that we targeted a certain number of people who could come. So since we have this social networking facility here through Facebook and email, we asked them to register, no? And after we reached a critical number, then we have closed the registration, so that those who have indicated their availability to come on the 18th of this month will have the pleasure, of course, of meeting the President. And of course, in that activity, I will be presenting to the President the various accomplishments of the different Filipino community organizations here in Korea. You know, because you know, here in Korea, while a major issue that is facing the Filipino community here is that whenever we have this threat coming from the north, no? Because technically speaking, the war has not ended yet, because what was signed in 1953 was an armistice agreement. So there is always these regular threats coming from the north. So it's not that they are concerned about these threats, but they become concerned because many of their relatives in the Philippines kept on calling them. Even the pronouncements of our government in the Philippine media, you know, tend to be quite alarming to the point that they become concerned also. But in a sense, they have observed here that the Koreans go on with their daily lives. So in a sense, somehow they are placated because what they see around them is that things are normal. But even then, we have to prepare for contingency measures. And I'm glad that while we have prepared this contingency plan, but basically it will involve a lot of volunteerism from the various Filipino community groups. And we are happy to note that many of them have declared their willingness to volunteer in helping come up with these preparations in case of the need to evacuate Filipino communities. This pension service, there was this agreement signed in 2005 between Korea and the Philippines, no? On the mutual recognition of the pension service. You know? So in effect, the Koreans working in the Philippines, they would be able to avail of the pension service there through the SSS. In the same manner that even before that agreement, the Filipinos here are already enjoying the national pension service here, NPS. As a matter of fact, those who have completed their contracts were able to collect the payments that they have made during the contract period, which is on the average about 4 years. Now, under that agreement signed in 2005, they will not be able to collect their pension anymore upon departure from Korea, but will have to wait until they turn 60 and then transact with SSS in the Philippines so that their pension would be given to them. So basically, the concern of the Filipinos here is that since many of them are young, in their 20s and early 30s, they wanted to avail of the status quo, meaning they wanted to be able to withdraw that pension that they have subscribed to over their contract period, because they'd be using that as a form of investment when they come back home. So the status now is that while it was already ratified by the Korean government, the Philippine government has not yet ratified it. But we have taken note of the concerns of the Filipinos who are living and working here, and the various agencies in the Philippines are now reviewing the agreement and would come up with a common position so that we can request the Korean side for a review of the terms. Basically, that the issue that I've just mentioned. If there would be a facility for them to be able to withdraw, their pension premiums upon completion of the contract. At the moment, it is being reviewed by various agencies. It was submitted to the Senate, but at the same time, the Filipinos who are here submitted a petition to the Senate, regarding their concerns. But the thing is, it has not been tabled for discussion by the Senate. As you can see, it was signed in 2005. Now it's 2013, and it's still hanging in the air, you know. But there are two parties involved here: Koreans working in the Philippines and Filipinos working here in Korea. So at the moment, it's only the Filipino workers who are here who are enjoying the benefits of this pension system, not the Koreans who are working in the Philippines. So that is the essence of the agreement. You know, it is a two-way agreement that will benefit both parties. Considering the fact that there are more Koreans in the Philippines than here, I think 3 times the number of Filipinos here are the number of Koreans who are in the Philippines. I'm glad that the President of the Republic of the Philippines, President Benigno Simeon Aquino III, would be visiting Korea, because the last time that we had a state visit was more than 10 years ago. So I'd say that it's highly about time that we have another visit here to reciprocate the visit made in 2011 by former President Im Yong-bak of Korea. I'm saying this because Korea is one of our major partners, no? When it comes to various areas, not only in politics, economics, even security arrangements, no? People-to-people contact, where we are very strong. No? As a matter of fact, Korea is now the #1 tourist in the Philippines for the last 7 years. So practically, I would say that the Koreans treat us as blood brothers because of the tremendous help that we have given to them, especially during the Korean War and the rehabilitation of Korea immediately after the war. So the visit of the President would be highly significant in the sense that the two presidents will be exchanging this renewal of commitment to mutually help each other. And I believe that from here on, especially considering the fact now that the economy of the Philippines is taking off, we will have more interaction. And the other point that I would like to mention here is that there is a new president here in Korea who began her term of office in February of this year, President Park Geun-hye. And one of the highlights of her foreign policy, in as far as Asia is concerned, is that she has identified 3 countries as the target of intensified cooperation, especially in the area of economic cooperation. And Korea terms this as the VIPs. V for Vietnam, I for Indonesia, and P for the Philippines. That is why the first few countries visited by President Park Geun-hye was Vietnam and most recently Indonesia. And now President Aquino is making a state visit here. It is a testament to the fact that Korea has noticed vast improvements and great economic developments in these 3 countries. And I'd say that it's not only limited in the economic area, but most especially in the people-to-people contact, in the aid program, you know, in military cooperation, especially for the Philippines, because this is one of the things that will be signed during the visit. But I believe that this will be a testament to the long-lasting friendship between Philippines and Korea. Thank you very much.